So, we've got not one but two interesting pieces of Red Wings news here today. And the first piece doesn't actually come to us from the Red Wings themselves. It was the Rögle BK hockey team in Sweden that made a press release as well as a tweet talking about this certain player and how he's leaving the team. You could see this was from 1 a.m. today, so maybe about 12-ish hours ago, so I'm pretty late in covering this, not gonna lie. But if you go over to the article that is linked in this Rögle BK tweet, take a look at this. It says that 4 Rögle players are heading over to the NHL. Marco Kasper, Kalle Klang, Adam Edstrom, and William Wallinder are already joining their NHL clubs, and they hope to join the NHL in the fall. We had talked about William Wallinder from yesterday, how he signed his ELC, which will start next season with the Red Wings, and you also have Marco Kasper, who was selected 8th overall in the first round by the Red Wings last year in the NHL Draft, who had signed a 3-year contract with the club shortly after, and who had been led to Rögle earlier this season, or loaned to Rögle, excuse me. It's been like my second home. I came here when I was 16, and it's meant a lot to me to have played and developed here. I've had a lot of help from the coaches, Chris and Hampus, and I've made many friends here, says Kasper. Now the forward is moving over to join the Troyes organization for the rest of the year. He has managed to play 158 games for Rögle's A team and scored a total of 59 points. So, Rögle themselves are saying that Marco Kasper is heading over to Detroit, and he'll likely play with the Grand Rapids Griffins if I had to go out there and guess. If you go over to Kasper and his profile for this season, it's been nothing short of spectacular. 18 years old, 6'1", 192 as a left-handed center, and he's a guy who, as we had noted, was taken 8th overall by the Red Wings 2022 NHL Draft, first round, top 10 talent, no big deal. He also had himself a pretty good season, 23 points in 52 SHL games, which for an 18-year-old really isn't bad in the slightest. Kasper is a no-nonsense, just super solid hockey player, a guy that can do it all, and somebody that's really capable at just playing the right way. Offensively, defensively, on the boards, power play, penalty kill, he is just so strong everywhere on the ice that there really aren't too many weaknesses to his game, aside from maybe you could say just the ceiling. Where Marco Kasper is going to be a super solid hockey player, he doesn't really project to being as high of a point scorer as other players from the 2022 draft like Shane Wright or Logan Cooley or any of these other guys. While he may not have the most points at the end of the day, he still is projected to be a very solid all-around hockey player that can tango with the best and just provide value everywhere on the ice. So, at the end of the day, he had himself a pretty strong SHL year, and he's looking to potentially carry that success over to maybe the Grand Rapids Griffins, maybe the Red Wings, the regular Red Wings for next season. Just taking this cup of coffee, though, most likely in the AHL is going to be good for his development, and just allowing the Red Wings to acknowledge where they're at with him and his development. The same could be said about Carter Mazur. Take a look at this. The Red Wings signed left-wing Mazur to a 3-year ELC beginning with 2023-2024. He will report to the AHL's Grand Rapids Griffins on an amateur tryout for the remainder of 22-23. So, very similar situation to what we talked about with Wallinder yesterday. Mazur was a pretty good prospect acquired by the Red Wings in the 2021 NHL Draft. 3rd round guy, 70th overall, 6 feet, 172-pound right-handed left-wing player. And he's a guy who, playing for the University of Denver Pioneers, had 37 points in 40 games played. He had really come into his own this season after being a really solid NCAA player last year too. And overall, just taking that level of success he had with the Storm and carrying that over to the collegiate system. I believe he was an overage player. Yeah, he was. Overage player when he was drafted by the team in 2021. He was born in 2002, meaning that he would have been eligible for the 2020 draft, but he was a little bit slower in his development path. He only had 13 points in 47 games played in his draft season, so that's kind of why he wasn't selected. But the Red Wings saw potential in Mazur. They took him in 2021. He made the University of Denver Pioneer system a lot better. He made Team USA at the World Juniors, and now he's hopefully going to take his NCAA success into the AHL and hopefully the NHL by, let's say, a few years from now. I'm not going to go out there and expect a third-round pick from 2021 to immediately make the jump into the NHL next season, but again, just like with Kasper, giving him that cup of coffee at the American Hockey League system is going to be a good move in allowing Mazur to acknowledge where he's at in his development and allowing the Red Wings themselves to acknowledge that too. So, Kasper and Mazur, two guys heading over to Detroit. Mazur's going to go over to Grand Rapids. For Marco Kasper, it's not really said anywhere, but I'm assuming that he's probably going to go to Grand Rapids too. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section either way, all your opinions about these two prospects. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.